You guys kept asking me if I had factored in a parabolic rise in Chia coin in my projections. No, gents, I haven't factored that in. Welcome back to the channel, guys. Hit that subscribe button and slam the bell icon so you're notified when new videos come out. Thank you so much for your support. And guys, as always, thank you for the thoughtful feedback, the thoughtful and the very robust suggestions and comments that you leave. I mean, some people are writing me books in the comments section, and frankly, I'm learning from them, right? I'm learning from you. Thank you. That really means a lot that we can have this conversation. I can improve what I'm presenting to the broader cryptocurrency mining scene here on YouTube. And right now, I'm taking this journey with you, learning more about Chia myself, and making sure that I can offer something of value to people just getting into the scene. All right, let's take a look at the Chia chart on CoinGecko.com. A low of 787 for the day. Guys, I didn't see this coming. I don't know who would, right? Like, I'm not trying to toot my own horn or whatever. We just have pullbacks, right? Prices do come down in the middle of a bull market, and at the end of a bull market, prices do come down. So this sort of thing just happens, and I don't want anybody to think that I'm like, whatever, trying to dance on the grave of this project or like pick winners or try to pick on people who've chosen to start mining or start farming for this project. So just wanted to bring it up. This can happen to any project, and it happened to a lot of projects today. Let's look at the full cryptocurrency market cap. And Ethereum, for example, also took a beating, 27% in the last 24 hours. Doesn't look great, right? It doesn't look great for a lot of coins. XRP down almost 33%, Cardano down 22%, Dogecoin down 29%, which, I mean, let's be real, it was kind of propped up by pumpamentals and memology. So there wasn't a whole lot there, but still down almost 30%. Polkadot down 36%. Ouch. Bitcoin Cash 34%. Litecoin 34%. Uniswap 33.5%. Oh, guys, Chainlink almost 40%. It just hurts everywhere. All the feels just hurts so bad. So here we are, right? How do we deal with this? Well, we take this opportunity to learn and build better. What's funny is that markets like this get me more bullish on mining, and I'll tell you why as we go along here, guys. I want to try to look at the data and talk to you more as we go. Here's some tweets from the real Kiyosaki. Robert Kiyosaki says, I hear from people, I can't afford Bitcoin. Bitcoin is crashing. Good news. Now is your chance. Get educated. Buy coins that outperform Bitcoin for pennies. Stop whining and take action. And then he shills his free crypto book, which is like lead generation to bring you down into a sales funnel to sell you some course later on, which is, whatever. Hate the game, not the player, right? And then he retweets himself saying, Bitcoin is crashing. Good news. Get ready to buy more. Remember, the problem is not Elon Musk or Bitcoin. And I would agree with him, right? The problems are the Fed, the Treasury, and I don't know if Biden himself is directly the problem. But gold, silver, and Bitcoin are some solutions. I kind of agree with him somewhat. And yet, here's from earlier today. During that dip, Elon Musk tweeted, Tesla has diamond hands. What happens? An immediate recovery in the markets. Yeah, so is Elon Musk the problem? Yeah, maybe a little bit. If we're being honest, yeah, he's part of the problem, right? So, he was part of the solution too. So good on you, Elon Musk, wherever you are. If you wind up watching this video, thank you for tweeting that out. Thank you for not being a complete jerk about all this and trying to only buy up more cheap Bitcoin for yourself, which I'm sure you got a piece of that sweet $29,000 dip on Bitcoin. I wish I had gotten more of it or some of it at all. I got barely anything today because I didn't have enough dry powder ready. But I just thought that was really interesting. Here's the chart for Chia, and there's that dip all the way down to, at the very, very lowest, I think 787 and change. Ouch, that hurts. With an attempt to recover here, but kind of a dead cat bounce, right? Boop, all the way back down. It went over into almost to the $1,200 range and then came back down and just kind of lost steam there. So let's see how it compares to Bitcoin though, right? This is always a useful and instructive measurement right here. It looks like it pretty much just stayed right in line with its Satoshi value and right in line with that Bitcoin value, or the Satoshi and dollar value right there over the 7-day. Looks like though, when we zoom out a bit, guys, this is what got me kind of excited to do this video, right? And this is not necessarily me extending an olive branch to people who are like, no, you don't understand. Chia is going to the moon and it's better than Bitcoin. Guys, just listen to yourselves. Look in the mirror. Is it really better than Bitcoin? Are you absolutely sure it's really better than Bitcoin? Can you really articulate the ways in which it's actually better than Bitcoin from a security standpoint? The ways in which it's already failed so far? Do they really compare to Bitcoin? Because I'm not convinced that they do yet. I'm just not. Sorry. I'm still a bit of a skeptic there. I think Bitcoin does what it does really well. And I don't think anything else does quite what Bitcoin does as well. Does that make me a Bitcoin maximalist? Nah, it makes me a Bitcoin mostimalist. I think that's the word for me. So I struggle with anybody saying like, this is the next Bitcoin, or it's going to be better than Bitcoin. Like, really, go die on another hill. If that's what you're going to do, go fight on another hill. That's my take on it. However, this is cool. Exchange listing, and then going into this range here over the last week, right? The last 5 days from about the time that I started covering some of this content on Chia, I noticed this, a divergence in the value, the coin value of Chia between its fiat value and its Bitcoin value. That's kind of a big deal in my book because Satoshi value, that's where the real value is, right? We would both agree that Bitcoin is better money than US dollars, right? And so you'd want a coin that you're interested in to be worth more Bitcoin than dollars, right? I think so. And that's what I'm looking at on this chart. I'm just thinking that's kind of bearing out here. This is pretty cool, actually. So just wanted you to know, you guys, it's growing on me a little bit. Over the last 5 days, I'm seeing that there's buzz and it's happening. This is cool. It's happening. And I'm hearing your success stories. And guys, I'm excited for you. When I hear that you're winning, right, that gets me excited for you. I love to hear that you've won blocks or that you're doing well with your Chia farming. Now, that said, let's jump into the Chia calculator and let's run some projections here. I think that we've got some new stuff to do. Well, first off, here we are over 7 exabytes. And if you don't know the difference between an exabyte and an exbibyte, I did a video about that, which you can see right over here. So go ahead and click over to that and watch all about exabyte versus exbibyte. I cover it in detail instead of being lazy and trying to come up with some corny analogy that doesn't really help you understand. I explained it over there. So total network space over 7 exabytes. Guys, this is insane. This is insane. We're closing in on 3 times the net space of the previous competitor in hard drive mining / farming. This is getting a little bit nuts. Current exchange rate says it's 8.55 per coin. Kind of a bummer, guys, but those are the numbers. And I'm not going to cherry pick the numbers. And people who said that I needed to project some exponential growth for the future, bruh, the day you told me that from then till today, the coin value has been chopped in half. It hasn't gone up at all. It's been chopped in half by the market. So unfortunately, we didn't really see a strong recovery after this morning's dip. However, it has done better relative to Bitcoin still, right? So all is not lost, but it didn't really recover in a very strong way from this morning's dip. Just want to throw that out there, guys. I don't think it's wise for me to go applying moon math to the price of this coin when we're still just trying to figure out, will it make sense for people to farm it? So here we are looking back at the calculator. It looks like days of stabilization, they've kind of been decreased just a little bit. We can do a couple of different scenarios here, and I want to try some things that are a little bit different. Shout out to the guys who suggested it in the comments section. You the real MVP. So here we are again, taking a look at the potential different scenarios we can map out here. And I love that we have a couple of new games to play here because I love playing with these numbers. This is helpful. Let's jump straight to the total network space. Let's just say, for example, we go 10x from where we are right now, and we basically have 0 days of exponential growth and 0 days of stabilization. So we've flatlined here. That doesn't make any sense. What the heck? Wait, how is this actually? Good grief. Okay, network growth. Oh, that is funny. Okay, geez. You know, I get the sense that there's actually something not quite right here. Whew. Yeah, we've got a little bit of an issue in terms of working this calculator, I'm noticing. But here's the thing. I'm not going to edit this for you guys. I needed to discover that with you on camera. So let's just pretend like 70 exabytes is the final amount that we finally hit when all the dust is settled. And let's just jump straight to the chase. Let's pretend like you already have, there we go, terabytes. You're a player. You already got 25 terabytes plotted, which I'm sure there are people here in the audience who don't have that yet. And your final amount, you have got earmarked 500 terabytes. You're going to get there. I promise. You're the little engine that could. And you're moving at a more conservative pace of, we'll say 2.5, no, not gigabytes, terabytes right here. So 2.5 terabytes. And we've gone over how some of this works. If you don't know how it works, check out the other videos on this channel where I talk about some of my thoughts regarding plotting speed and justifying why I put consistently the 2.5 terabyte terabyte per day plotting rate as the average for most people. Just be easier if you watch those videos. So 2.5 terabytes per day, you're going to get there. It's just going to take time, right? And earnings do eventually go up. So here, we'll just pretend like somebody jumps in after there's already full net space saturation, right? It's as full as it's going to be. You're just jumping in now. You're trying to put your extra couple of drops in the bucket, so to speak. But you're starting at a pretty healthy space. You're ending at a pretty healthy space. Over 6 months, you're earning a significant amount, right? As you plot up to that point, but your costs are pretty high, right? Your costs for 500 terabytes of storage are going to be 15 grand, and you only earn after 6 months a little under 5, and that's with current coin pricing. And I really do think that today's little preview of bottom support for this market may be a sign of things to come. Without me making any kind of price predictions, like really don't hold me to it, but I'm going to just say informally, guys, I think we got a preview of where we'll find support after this bull run. Maybe a little lower. Don't quote me, but I think maybe a little lower than what you're seeing with Chia right now is where you will actually find support. So everybody who's saying exponential growth, like please stop, get help, and just get real. Everything moves up, then retraces and finds support for a bear market. That's just how the cycles move. Okay. And I suspect that we're getting a little preview, a little taste of what it'll be like during the bear market. So let's bring this all the way back down to 775. Let's pretend like that's where things kind of like pan out after 6 months. You're still looking at the fixed cost for all of your parts over 15 grand, and you're looking at not that much less in the long run for 6 months of rewards there, block rewards for having all this plotting done. Let's do the following though, okay? Let's go ahead and extend that out to a year, and now we can kind of see how your daily earnings are going to cap out. Now we've actually got this thing fully mapped out to where you have your full 500 terabytes plotted, right? And apparently the daily earnings, once you do hit that peak area, it's really not bad, right? It starts to look pretty good if there's some kind of support, bottom support for this coin above $700. Again, not a price prediction, but I really think that that would be the best way to look at this, is look at it as being even lower than today's price, right? We may even see something more along the lines of $500 to $600, maybe even lower, guys, right? Don't quote me on this, but we're going to find bottom support somewhere below where we saw it today, in my opinion, once we get into that ultimate bear market. So keep it exactly where it is. No other finagling. After about a year, you actually are getting pretty close to being whole. And guys, this is where I wanted to concede the point to people who asked me to map this out a different way. It might make sense. It really might make sense. Look at what I'm showing you here too. There's also a case for doing the slow plotting on spinning disks, serial attached SCSI drives in used hardware, old servers with like old rack mount servers that are storage dense and have plenty of SAS drives already in them. Use SAS drives that you can put into a RAID. So it doesn't even matter if they're 150 gig SAS drives, right? 147 gig SAS drives. Once you put them into a RAID, that's immaterial, right? You have more read heads working simultaneously, and it doesn't matter that you're going to need about 300 gigs across multiple drives. The fact that you have more read heads working simultaneously in a RAID 0 means that you're going to plot at a reasonable speed with enough volume to hit more threads. So you can do that 2.5 terabytes a day without shredding up NVMe drives and without shredding up SSDs. No, it doesn't matter, in my opinion, if they're enterprise SSDs or whatever else. You don't have to plot on those drives, whereas these are designed for 24/7 data center use with much lower failure rates. So I really do think this is a better way to go. You can still achieve a break-even point by doing that. So at this point, I'm trying to advocate for something that's genuinely green. So please don't shoot the messenger. Again, right here, guys, looking at it again, if you can increase that plotting time even just to 4.5 terabytes per day, right? Move that peak earning up by whatever, however much sooner. Your daily earnings really don't change all that much as the net space grows slowly in stabilized daily growth after hitting that amount, right? So we start at 70 exabytes and slowly move up by several petabytes per day. So over the course of a year, maybe we see another exabyte if we do actually hit this point. Again, a lot of this is contingent on the net space only growing to about 10 times what it is right now. And I don't know, man. Do you know? I don't know. Really, all bets are off. Who really knows? I don't. Here we go. That's 70 exabytes. This was suggested to me. We can map this out as one potential outcome, maybe. But the faster you plot, again, it gets you far closer to breaking even in about a year if you are mining to pools, stabilizing your income on the mining pools of Chia, as opposed to waiting, like holding out to win blocks entirely by yourself mining solo. That just doesn't seem realistic. Hasn't seemed realistic based on the sheer volume of people who've been telling me, like, yeah, I've got 100 terabytes plotted, nothing. I've got over 100 terabytes plotted, nothing. I keep hearing from people who've gotten multiple block rewards too, and really, I'm happy for you. I'm extremely happy for you. But the vast majority of people who've commented haven't gotten any. And the vast majority of people who I talk to behind the scenes in private mining discords and in Telegram groups and such, they're admitting privately that they haven't gotten any rewards either. So, sorry, it's confirmation bias. Like, I know that the people who I talk to are not, they don't represent everybody on the network. Just saying that I've heard enough of those stories that it has me concerned that people who have gotten a block have their own confirmation bias, and they're just not seeing clearly that that's very rare. Right? They're very, very lucky, actually. Just saying. All right, so here we are, 70 exabytes. We can do a couple of different projections as well. Probably far more realistic to find somebody at home doing somewhere between 48 and 100 terabytes. Let's go ahead and do that 12 terabyte projection again. And let's start, if you already have maybe a single 5 terabyte drive done, and let's go back to our slow plotting rate of 2.3 or 2.5 again, because again, I really like that number. It really does make sense to me. It's going to take you less time to fully saturate all of the storage that you have available there, especially when we're looking at over a year. And here's where it starts to make maybe a little bit more sense. They say that you're going to do this for your plotting system, but again, if you're not building out a really fancy rig and you are just using much faster spinning platter systems in RAID configuration, maybe you can plot from a laptop at this rate. Maybe you can plot from whatever you have lying around as a gaming rig that's old at this rate, and you can achieve this. So maybe you don't have to spend quite as much. Maybe. I don't know. But they say $3,000 there, and over the course of a year, a little over $1,500. And that's down at the 775 figure that I had before. Guys, again, we'll play some more projections here. I can bring it back up to $1,200, but here's the thing. Bitcoin pulled itself up by the bootstraps from $29,000 today back up to 37. Chia didn't. Ethereum didn't. Many of the other alts didn't because of the consolidation and the circling of the wagons around Bitcoin. Guys, that's what I got for you today. Go ahead and plug in some of the numbers. The way you saw me do right there, drop your days of exponential growth down to 0, drop your days of stabilization down to 0, drop your network growth down to 0, and then go ahead and just put in what you think are reasonable amounts for the network size, right? And then with a stabilized daily growth of whatever number of petabytes you think is realistic, don't start with fully plotted space on the calculator, because you do want to give yourself time to ramp up into whatever plotting amount you have, and then put in the real numbers for what your actual plotting rate is. All kinds of people are telling me stuff down in the comments section. I don't know if it's true or not, right? On the internet, nobody knows that you're a dog. So whatever, you can say anything. I don't know. That could be true. But try the calculator this way, run some projections, tell me what you find. Tell me what you think is true. Guys, I'm loving the conversation, the dialogue that we're having here. Really, you're teaching me so much. I'm trying to help bring a new perspective for people who haven't thought about it on that side of the screen. So let me know what you find. Thanks so much for watching to the end, guys. And really, love your face. Remember, stay private and mind your biz.
Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end of the video. If you want to be notified of videos like this in the future, first off, click subscribe, press the bell icon. Additionally, you can sign up for the Mind Your Biz email newsletter. That'll give you exclusive access to certain freebies, notifications for deals within the cryptocurrency mining space, as well as some of our flash sales for merchandise, which you can buy with cryptocurrency. That's right. It's the only cryptocurrency merch that you can buy with cryptocurrency. We practice what we preach. As always, thank you so much for watching. You're the reason I make this media. I love your face, and I will see you in the next one.